morning, Driven here. Back with Lamplight City. See how on today. See if we manage to solve any of the cases this time. The game up. Looking for Ruby. At the last one? Yeah, must be. Right, let's have a quick look in our casebook. Locate Ruby. Investigate the kill. Lily. Been there, haven't we? Speak to the servant girl at the coffee house. First of all, to find him. Got the flyer. Yeah, right. She's
busy. No point bothering her if we've got nothing to ask.
But lots to ask.
Asleep at a coffee house. One of life's little ironies. Dr. Tennyson's Vigor Pills. Absolutely guaranteed to restore vitality, youth, and vigor or your money back. For use by men only. These things seem to have had a spike in popularity recently. Green's Sulfur Soap. Beautifies the complexion and leaves you smelling fresh as a daisy. Talk about false advertising. I couldn't get a date for a week after using that stuff. Dr. W.S. Sales Wonder Tonic. The best and safest medicine for both gentlemen and ladies. Prevents consumption, general weakness, feverishness, indigestion, constipation, diarrhea, loss of appetite, flatulence, and head pain. They should also mention that it prevents breathing, heartbeats, and being alive. P.D. Preston's patented papier-mâché perambucat. Handsomely upholstered in silk, satin, or velvet, and hand-painted in the most artistic manner, as shown in engraving. I suppose if you and Adelaide ever finally decide to have children, something like this will come in handy. Simon Banks, professional chimney sweep. Services start at 2 coppers per hour. Inquire at 305 Merrick Lane. I'm sure he's a lovable urchin, but thankfully, your chimney is clean. Professor Xander Colt Tit III's emulsified soporific, available at all discerning pharmacies. I really don't know why you think taking that rat piss every night is a good idea for him.
He's not taking it anymore. Right. I missed something. That's the coffee shop, isn't it? Why can we still go back there? Let's just try all the different places. We'll just work our way down from the top.
Hello again, Mr. Fordham.
Probably best to leave her to her grieving right now.
Clicked on everything here.
Probably best. The former Percival McDonough, being a good politician. Nothing but a bunch of boring documents. You'd think he could have at least been considerate enough to keep something scandalous in here.
Yeah. The paper. There's the calendar, which we worked on.
No time to waste with further conversation right now. You've got a killer to find.
Barclay.
It seems the killer didn't want anyone to know about this meeting with McDonough, and possibly not with Ruby either. It seems the
See if there's anything new at the police station.
The rumor was always that the chief... No need to talk to him.
It's Upton. Let's go back to the lamp depot.
I wouldn't get too close to... So this is where all the lamps... This is the bunch of crap they used to build street lamps with.
May I ask you a few questions?
Of course! What would you like to know?
With all these promises of technological advancement, have the Redites given you any trouble?
Oh, those tech-fearing dolts. Yes, I'm sorry to say that we've gotten threats from them. They have yet to carry any out, which is unsurprising.
How so?
Groups like that are all bluster and no backbone.
I've seen some evidence to the contrary.
Is that right? Well, we've seen little beyond threatening letters, and I intend to make sure it stays that way.
You have any of these letters I might have a look at?
Yes, I have one. I'll give it to you before you leave.
Thank you. Your cooperation is much appreciated.
Happy to help. Here's that letter you were asking about.
The engineers of chaos and destruction. You are working in direct opposition to the national order of things. So-called improvements will be the downfall of our society. Do not cease your unholy experiments. The Redites will be forced to take action. Have been warned. P. Who is PF?
Now that's interesting. Whoever wrote this letter signed it with initials. They can't have been so stupid as to make themselves so easily identifiable, can they? Perhaps it would be a good idea to take another look at that list you got from Snelling.
Where was that list? Oh, we put it back to Upton's, didn't we? On the wall. I think. Yeah, there it goes, look.
Therein lies Upton's boudoir. As a matter of respect, the less said the better, I think.
Yeah, but I want to look at the list. Why can't I look at the list?
Therein...
I want to look at it. Why is it not letting me look at it? Let me look at the police sketches. Why is it not letting me look at that?
Therein...
Why won't it let me look at the list? Even hinting to look at the list. It's Reggie Willingham.
No need to talk.
I want to look at the list with Upton. That might toggle. I can't remember if there was anybody on that list, was there? Was PF? See if they know anybody that starts PF.
She's busy.
No.
He seems rather upset over the current circumstances. Completely ruined. Whoever sabotaged this knew what they were doing.
Still somebody in the shower there.
At least having a heater down here manages to keep things warm.
Got everything out of there.
Sounds like there's someone in there.
Lauren? How you been? Back in? Have your breakfast. Got the gilded lily.
May I ask you a few questions, Serafina?
Of course you may, but I can't guarantee the answers will be free.
Do you by chance have a girl named Ruby in your service?
Ruby? Yes, she's one of our newest girls. She's not in any sort of trouble, is she?
Not at all. I merely wanted to speak with her.
Well, she should be in the dressing room. If you go through the rear door and follow the hallway down, it's the last door on the left.
I see. Thank you.
Do we ask about... No, let's go talk to
Thank you
Ruby.
for your time.
Of course, my dear.
Oh, hello. Did Serafina send you back here for me?
Yes, but not for the usual reasons. I'm a private investigator. My name is Miles Fordham. Ruby, I presume?
Yes, that's right. What do you need from me?
Just some information.
Well, I'll do my best.
The girls here don't get much in the way of a dressing area. Still, something is better than nothing, I suppose.
Have a quick look about. Doctor?
Lily, 1809 to 1843. I wonder what happened to her.
Might be getting Barn up on the desk. Move some things. You coming up, Ian? Stay in there. You're coming up. Yeah, that's the microphone. Save this in case Barn sets anything. There we go. Are you gonna sit there? Okay, you sit there. Alright. Just move my microphone back where it was. Okay. Shrine. What's this for? Hello. Brian, Lily, 1809 to 1843. Oh, I'm away again. It didn't stay very long. We've got flowers. Oh.
That's a nice locket for being such a cheap piece of jewelry.
What have we found? Blue added 313. That before. Lockers are only 3.
That's a nice locket for... No lilies? Seems like a missed opportunity. Cut down in her prime. I can relate. I'm guessing this is where most of the girls keep their personal belongings. Doesn't seem to offer much in the way of privacy.
Can't open it, right? Ruby.
So, Ruby,
Yes?
Got a lot to ask her. Need to find out about Reggie.
are you familiar with Reggie Willingham?
Oh, him? He had to be banned from here.
Really? What happened?
He got way too rough with one of the girls. She ended up shy a few teeth.
Dear Lord.
Yeah, apparently he wasn't too fond of boundaries. Good riddance to him, I say.
Were you aware that Mr. Willingham was murdered?
What? Oh, well, now I feel terrible for saying good riddance. I meant...
I think I know what you meant, Ruby. It's fine.
Is it me, or is there a pattern starting to emerge here?
Let's work our way up.
That's a rather nice portrait. Who's the subject?
Oh, that's Lily. Before my time. Serafina knows loads about her. Even changed the name of this place in her honor. You might try asking her if you want to know more.
Oh, we will.
You met recently with Percival McDonough, is that right?
How did you know that? I thought he was meant to keep those sorts of things private.
He had your name written down in his calendar.
And you found me here based on that?
Well, I am a detective.
Suppose that's true. Anyway, yes. I only met him the one time. There wasn't anything remarkable about him. After we finished, he got all emotional about his wife, but I could hardly understand what he was saying. I hate it when they cry afterwards.
The other one that was killed?
Did you ever have a client named Hannibal Kirkland?
No, that name doesn't sound familiar. Sorry.
Do you know Ennis Bowditch?
Bowditch? Didn't think I'd be hearing that name again.
As I understand it, he was seeing your friend, the serving girl at the ruined coffee house.
Yeah, that's right. Annabelle. She broke things off with him a while ago, though.
So she said. Did you ever know him to be violent?
Violent? The bastard nearly beat Annabelle's brains in once. Why do you think she chucked him?
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
At least she had the good sense to get rid of him.
Perhaps we should go confirm this newly discovered fact with Annabelle.
Aha.
Did you ever meet a man named Burley Cause?
You're doing that as well.
No, I never met him, but one of the other girls had him as a client. I remember because she was laughing about his name. He wasn't very burly, if you get my meaning.
Right. How long have you been in this business?
Only a few months now. Used to work at a kitchen, but then they brought in some of those new automated machines.
Ah, a sadly familiar story.
At least this profession isn't in any danger of being made obsolete by steam tech. Cold steel can never replace a warm touch.
Let's just hope that's true.
Yeah. Trying just now.
Have you heard of the Justice Killer?
No, I don't believe so.
He's a serial murderer who's killed 5 victims.
So everybody else
Most
has
of them
heard
from
of him.
Chumley.
Oh dear, that sounds dreadful. Is that what you're investigating?
I still
It
think
is.
it's her.
Do you know anyone who might have some information about him?
I don't. Sorry I can't be more help.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Thanks, love.
I still think it's her. Let's go talk to Serafina.
May I ask you a few questions, Serafina?
Of course you may, but I can't guarantee the answers will be free.
Could you tell me about the young lady in the portrait hanging in the back room?
Ah, that's Lily Peterson. She was a wonderful woman and a great friend.
What happened to her?
It's a rather tragic story, Mr. Fordham. I'd rather not go into too much detail. The short version is this. She was with a client who got very carried away. She was able to defend herself enough to mortally wound the bastard, but the damage had already been done. The girls and I decided among us that we would rename this establishment in her honor. Some days it's still hard to believe she's gone. I haven't even been able to get rid of her box of things.
I'm very sorry for your loss, Serafina.
We're going to get to look through
Thank you,
it.
dear. It was especially awful given Lily's past. Her sister died at the hands of her own husband some 16 years before. Some people just can't escape tragedy, no matter how far they run.
Huh. Something tells me these deaths are significant. It might be a good idea to learn as much as we can about Lily Peterson.
Did you know Percival McDonough?
The politician? I knew who he was, but never met him personally.
He was seeing Ruby, wasn't he?
Not regularly, no. In fact, his first and only visit with her was yesterday.
Were you aware that he was murdered shortly after that?
I had no idea. How terrible.
Yes, it is terrible. This means she's lost a potential repeat customer.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, my dear.
Go talk to Annabelle. Find out what these numbers are. I want to go talk to Ruby again. Still got some of her things, so I wanted to see them. Maybe they would be in here.
I'm guessing this is where most...
So, Ruby,
Yes?
Serafina told me that Lily's possessions are still here. Do you know where they're kept?
Yeah, in that cabinet over there. Lily had a special place in Serafina's heart. I don't think she has the nerve to get rid of this stuff yet.
Do you think I could take a look through it?
Oh, I don't know.
Serafina never has to know. I promise I'll only look, not touch.
If I had a crown for every time I'd heard that. But, alright. As long as you keep your word and don't take anything from the box, I'll let you have a look. I'll get it for you after.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Thanks, love. There you go. All yours for the browsing.
Okay, so we have got buttons. What happens when you press them?
These don't look too valuable. A cheap ring. Must have had sentimental value because otherwise there'd be no point in keeping it.
Oh, see the number sequence. Press the buttons in that order to open something. Try that
Let's
in a minute.
see what we have in here.
Detective Lester Barnett. Dear Miss Peterson, while it is unorthodox practice for a detective to maintain contact with the relatives of a victim after the case has been solved, your story has touched me on a deeper level. Please let me know if there is anything I can do to help you during this difficult time. I understand you have decided to take it upon yourself to raise your sister's son, and for that I commend and respect your strength of will. Again, do not hesitate to contact me if there's anything else. Son is still alive.
Nice scarf. Impressively clean, too. Lily clearly took care of her things.
Right, where's my notes here? I was going to crash there. Let me just write this sequence down because I will not remember it. 3. Now, is that 1, 2, 3, or is it... We'll say this is 3.
One of 3 buttons with an engraved lily on it. I wonder if they're just decorative or if they have some other purpose.
I can press them. 1, 3. Aha.
Well now, I think we just found ourselves a bonanza.
Aunt Lily, I tried, God knows I tried, but I couldn't let that bastard get away with his crime. I refused to watch you suffer the same fate as Mother. Justice had to be done. I've snuffed out his life, just as he tried to choke yours out of your body. Blood that stains this letter is his. As I write this, you're in hospital, bed, unconscious. I don't know if I'll ever be able to speak with you again, but I am placing this letter in your secret place in the hope that you will someday be able to read it. In the meantime, I have discovered my true calling. I must dispense justice to those who harm innocent women. I have seen the cycle of violence go on for far too long. I have lost both my mother and aunt to violent men. I must stop this from happening again. I spoke with Gloria, and she told me she had been violated by one of her clients, an ironworker named Hannibal Kirkland. I will observe his habits until the time is right to strike. After it's taken care of, I will find others and do the same until this wretched city is scrubbed clean. I need to send a message. Love to you always. So it's the nephew of Lily. These 2 pages here. Who the sister's son is. F.
A cheap ring. It's kind of sad that Lily kept that letter all these years. Guess she never really got over her sister's death.
So Lily knows, maybe. Let's go talk to Lily. No, we don't know Lily's dead, but Seraphina might know something.
May I ask you a few questions, Seraphina?
Of course you may, but
I think we're going to get stuck in a loop here.
Thank you for your time.
of course, my dear.
May I ask you a few... Seraphina, what can you tell me about Lily's nephew?
Her nephew? I didn't know she had a nephew. Lily didn't talk much about her family, as you can probably imagine.
You're not lying to me, are you?
I have nothing to hide from you.
Except maybe the truth. But I don't think we have what we need to make her talk. If there even is anything that would make her talk.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, my dear.
How are we going to find that out? Gino? Oh, Ruby's going to talk some more.
So, Ruby,
Yes?
I found this letter inside a secret compartment in the box belonging to Lily. Do you know anything about it?
I thought we agreed you wouldn't take anything from there.
This is a special case. This letter's from Lily's nephew, the Justice Killer.
Oh, I see. Look, I've only been here a short time. I don't know anything about Lily or any killers or anything, I swear.
You know, I think she's telling the truth.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Thanks, love.
She could have found the letter. Go to the police station.
Chief Snelling,
Yes, Fordham?
do you recall a murder involving a woman named Lily Peterson about a year ago?
Lily Peterson? Yes, that name does sound familiar. Of course, the prostitute murder. That wasn't one of yours, was it?
No, it wasn't. Do you remember any other details?
As I recall, the woman was beaten severely by one of her clients, who escaped and was never found. She died a few days later in the hospital. How is this of any relevance, exactly?
That's what I'm trying to piece together. Did you know that Lily Peterson had a sister who was killed some 16 years ago?
I didn't. Are you suggesting that's related somehow?
I think it is. Would you be able to get me the case file?
What was the victim's name?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
That might be a bit more difficult, unless you can give me more details.
I'll try my best.
Very well. What year did you say the case was from?
What year would it have been? Oh, was that on the picture? Can't remember.
It was 16 years ago, so 1828.
Right. And who was the detective assigned to the case?
Barnett.
It was Lester Barnett.
Right. He was quite active in those days. And what was the victim's official cause of death?
Know that. Must have been stabbing.
It was a stabbing.
All right. I'll have a look and see if I find anything. There's nothing I can see that matches the information you gave me. I suggest you get your details in order before you attempt to waste my time again.
He would have been shot. Try
Chief
again.
Snelling,
Yes, Fordham?
I really need to take a...
I can find... What year?
It must have been. It
It
was 16 years ago.
So 1828.
Right. And who was the detective assigned to the case?
It was definitely Barnett.
It was Lester...
Right. And what?
Must have been shooting.
It was a shooting.
All right. There's nothing I can see that matches the information you gave me. I suggest...
Snuffed out his life. That would mean snuffed out. Choke yours out of your body. Must have been strangled. But the rest were a single gunshot. Right, let's go find the date just to double check it. I'm pretty sure it was 16 years ago. But to double click that for speed. Right, it was over here. That's 1843.
Cut down in her prime. I can relate.
Somebody definitely said 16 years ago.
Chief Snelling?
Yes,
I really need...
I can. What?
I mean, must be that one.
It was 16 years ago, so 1828.
Right. And who was the detective assigned to the case?
It was less...
Right. And what?
It was
All right. Yes.
There we go.
Here we are. This should be a match. Have
Where's
a
all the
look.
blood from? Okay, so victim
So
name.
we have our killer's last name and possible first name, assuming he's the same man Linda Walker talked about. Perhaps it's time to ask about him at the docks.
Victim name Liam Collins, Daisy Collins. 37-34, gunshot self-inflicted. Police were notified after a neighbour heard shouting and a general commotion from the Collins apartment. Upon arrival, they found Daisy Collins in the living room with clear signs of strangulation. In the bedroom, they found Liam Collins, the apparent victim of a self-inflicted gunshot to the head. Searching the rest of the apartment, officers found a young child, apparently aged approximately 4 years old, hiding in a closet. The child did not respond to questions and was visibly upset. Detective Barnett conducted an investigation and determined that Liam attacked his wife, likely under the influence of alcohol, and accidentally caused her death. The child has been taken into police custody and is awaiting transfer to an orphanage. Okay, so we're looking for a kid called Collins. Samuel, where did they get Samuel from? Oh, we got that earlier from something, didn't we? Let's go talk to the coffee, Annabelle at the coffee house, because we were meant to do.
Begging your pardon, miss.
How can I help you, sir?
I spoke with your friend Ruby. She told me something quite disturbing.
What was that?
She said that Ennis had fits of violence, and that the reason you ended your relationship was because he hit you.
Why would she tell you that? That was my secret to tell, not hers. I thought we were friends.
It's obvious she cares about you and was worried about your well-being.
Well, it hardly matters now Ennis is dead, does it?
But is it true? Did he raise his hand to you?
Yes, it is true. As I said before, something changed in him. I have no idea what, but I had to get away.
I see. Thank you for your honesty. I'm sorry you had to experience what you did. I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you, sir.
That's away now. Servant girl's testimony. Okay, let's go to the docks.
Blank surfaces don't stay that way for very long around here. Ah, the chum. You can never truly get away from it as much as you may try.
Is that not the guy from the flower shop?
Hastings, is that you?
Why, Detective Fordham. Fancy seeing you again. What brings you down to the docks?
I'm trying to track down a serial murderer, who I believe is the same man who was breaking into the flower shop.
You don't say. I wish I could help you, but the guy never came back after the night you and your partner came around. Where is your partner anyway?
Oh, he's around.
Well, give him my regards. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get this crate back, or Cecilia will have my head on a platter.
Of course. Good seeing you again.
He's around? That's probably the most clever thing you've said in months. Well done.
Why is he here? Apart from... I can wait up. Can we talk to him again?
Keep up the good work, Mr. Hastings.
A bit grumpy. Let's go in here.
Huh? What? Who is it?
Hello, sir. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Go ahead, but make it quick. Time is money, after all.
What does your work here involve?
I'm in charge of tracking and cataloging all the cargo that passes through here. I receive the shipping manifest and make sure that things get unloaded and sent to the right places.
And you do all this by yourself?
Well, of course not. I'm in charge of administration. A team of workers does all the heavy lifting.
Do you know a man named Samuel Collins?
Yes, I do. He's one of my workers.
Is he working today?
No, it's his day off. Why do you ask?
I'm very interested in speaking with him. Could you tell me where I can find him?
I don't just give out information on my men to strangers. What reason do you have for wanting to speak with him?
Some
I
side
believe
of
he
collar.
may be involved in some serious crimes.
Is that right? And what are these serious crimes, exactly?
Stealing? Or the Justice Killer?
I believe Samuel's the Justice Killer.
What? That's absolutely preposterous. You've got quite some imagination, sir. And here I thought you were serious.
Yeah, didn't think we should have went for that.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
I believe I saw a headline in the newspaper recently mentioning that name, but I dismissed it as fear-mongering nonsense. There are more important things I need to worry about.
But the Justice Killer is directly responsible for the death of one of your workers.
Oh? Is that right? Well, there's nothing I can do about it. What my men get up to in their off time is none of my business.
Unless it affects his business.
Wow, this guy is even worse than you, Miles.
Let's try again.
About Samuel Collins?
Yes? What about him? You've made a rather lofty...
I believe he's stealing money from you and your business.
What? Do you have proof of this?
No, I guess I don't.
Stop wasting my time, then!
About Sam...
Yes?
I believe he's...
What?
The Hanbrook Flower Shop. He stole several orders of Easter lilies.
The Hanbrook Flower Shop? They're not one of my customers. I only sell to wholesalers.
A minor detail. The point remains that your man's a burglar.
That's quite a serious claim. What proof do you have?
You can hear it straight from the man who works at the shop that was burgled.
Well, where is he then?
Wait here just a moment.
Let's get Trevor.
Excuse me, Mr. Hastings?
What is it, Detective? As I said, I'm rather busy.
I was wondering if you might help me with something. Could you please tell the shipping manager over there about the burglaries at your flower shop?
Certainly.
Go ahead, Mr. Hastings.
Right. It all started around 5 months ago. And he didn't come around again after that night.
Thank you, Mr. Hastings. That'll do. Now are you convinced?
Fine. I hate to lose 2 of my men in such a short amount of time, but if he's done wrong, I can't just stand by. Samuel lives in Chumley, at 210 Abattoir Row.
Thank you, sir. You may have just saved several lives.
But I'm going to have to spend several crowns in order to get things back to normal.
Oh, the shame.
Now, if you'll excuse me...
Right, let's head over there. And we have a suspect. Always save. That's not how you spell That's not how you spell suspect.
Samuel Collins?
Yes?
I'm Terrence Shackley from the Labor Department. I wanted to ask you some questions about your employer at the docks.
Oh, of course. Please
He's
come in.
lying who he is.
I'm
Police.
sorry. What did you say your name was?
Terrence Shackley? But it's not my real name. I just used it to get into your apartment. I believe you did something similar at the Houses of Parliament with Mr. McDonough.
So, you're Fordham. The one who was snooping around at the Gilded Lily.
Indeed. We meet again, Mr. Collins.
Of course. The rooftop. I'm sorry about what happened to your partner. Wasn't my intent for him to die. Oh, he's sorry, is he? Is that supposed to make things better? I suppose this encounter was inevitable. But I admit I didn't think it would be this soon. So, you're here to arrest me.
That's right. Samuel Collins, I'm placing you under arrest for the murders of Percival McDonough, Burley Cause, Ennis Bowditch, Hannibal Kirkland, and Reggie Willingham.
What about your partner?
Oh, please. Every one of those men deserve what they got.
The only people who deserve death are those who kill.
How easy it is for you to be the judge of others. Well, I can do the same. I judged those men, and I found them wanting.
I understand your reasons, but that doesn't mean your actions were justified. You need to pay for your crimes, one way or another.
My crimes? What about theirs? If not for me, they would have gotten away with them.
There are other ways of upholding justice, Collins. Ways that don't involve mass murder.
The system is broken. Criminals get away all the time. You know that. Only too well. But you comprehend my situation. You understand my reasons for doing what I do.
Understanding is not the same as approval.
But it is the first step. Is this bastard really suggesting what I think he is? All I ask is that you allow me to continue my work in peace.
You asked me to look the other way once before, and I refused.
Yes, and it cost your partner's life.
Well, this time it's just you and me, and I'm still not going to let you off. You're out of your mind if you think I'm going to just let you keep killing.
Damn right, Miles. This has to end. Then you leave me no choice.
Uh-oh. Snelling.
Fordham, are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank God you're a better shot than I was.
So, this is our justice killer?
Or was.
That's right.
I suppose congratulations are in order. You did well in finding him.
Thank you, Chief Snelling. I'm glad we were finally able to work together.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you weren't so brash as to confront him without notifying me first. Perhaps there is hope for you yet. Now then, I'll go get the other officers so we can lock down the scene and remove the body. Wait here.
Quite a night, eh, Bill?
Oh, Bill's gonna
Bill?
be away.
Are you there? Bill?
No longer has he got Bill to talk to. 2 weeks later. Bill Ledger.
It's good of you to do this, Miles. Do you need some time alone?
If you wouldn't mind.
All right. I'll wait for you over by the sycamores.
So, it's finally over. I have to admit, it's been strange not hearing you all the time anymore. Never in a million years did I think I would actually miss it. But the important thing is you've moved on, and I got what I was looking for. I'm starting up my own private detective agency, you know. Addie and Upton are going to be my partners. It should be interesting, to say the least. Oh, that reminds me. I brought you a little something. It's not much, but I thought you might appreciate it. Thank you for all your help, Bill. I truly would have been lost without it. Goodbye, old friend. I love you.
There we go then. That was very good. Just gotta look up adventure game I was going to be playing next, because we'll make a start on that. If I can remember where I had the list. Oh yeah, here we go. Well, let's go up. Let me just find something here. Oh, it's paused. I thought it might have carried on. Okay, let's just go back in here. Right, no, that was really good. Apart from the fact you could fail on some of the cases, I would have liked to have solved them all fully, but if you pushed some people too far, they locked you out. Quit game. Again, thank you to the publisher. I think that was that was Volker. Yeah, that was Volker at Application Systems Heidelberg, so thank you again.